Whether you love them or love to hate them, we all love greatness. But what is it about those special few who reach the upper echelons of greatness? It has to be more than championships and rings. Plenty of players win rings. It has to be more than looks or flash. Plenty of players look good. I think the one thing that separates those that are the greatest from the rest of us mere mortals is delusion. A delusion to think that of the tiny few that make it to chase professional sports dreams, of the millions that have ever played the game as children, or the billions who've ever dreamed of one day seeing the heights of stardom, that they could actually do it. To be the one out of however many billion to actually be the greatest of all time takes a certain belief beyond belief, a certain willpower past pure will, a level of belief that could only be classified as delusion. But deep down, we all love it. Think about young Cassius Clay. As Muhammad Ali, he would go on to knock out Sonny Liston to win his first world championship, and then shock the world again when he was the first man to ever knock out George Foreman in the jungle. No one could deny, without a shadow of a doubt, that he was then the greatest in the world. This level of self-belief is necessary to do something extraordinary, and the story of Muhammad Ali is only a precursor to a generation of earth shakers to come after him. Consider a young Serena Williams from Saginaw, Michigan. By the way, I'm Ram. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe for more. Now, as we were saying, back in the early 90s, Richard Williams and the Williams family all knew that the stars were the limit for a young Venus and Serena Williams. I mean, just listen to what Richard said in 1992 about his preteen daughters.
She has every quality to be a champion, and she will be. And that's what makes Venus Venus. And Serena plays angles better than any woman or any man I ever seen play tennis.
Just a reminder that these were the notes taken on 11 and 12-year-old girls that had not even yet competed at the highest levels of the sport. And while there are plenty of great scouts and talent evaluators, some might call it delusional to expect these girls with no history of tennis in the family, nor the children of great tennis champions, to one day rise to the highest heights of one of America's most exclusive sports. And yet, not even a decade later, Serena would win her first Grand Slam major championship at just 17 years old. Venus would finish her career with more than 20 combined singles and doubles major championships and 3 Olympic gold medals, while Serena would go on to win 23 major singles championships, basically the most of all time, by all accounts cementing herself as the greatest women's tennis player to ever live. In hindsight, all of King Richard's plans seemed like they made sense. But at the time, I know you would have thought he was absolutely delusional. For many greats, childhood is where these delusions of grandeur blossom. We saw the same belief with the young Eldrick Woods. You might better know him as Tiger. When a 5-year-old Tiger appeared on the That's Incredible TV show in 1980, it was clear to anyone with eyes that he was a child prodigy. His game at 5 was better than most adults. Even better than mine right now, but that's beside the point. At that same time, we see that he was just as delusional as the Williams sisters were when they were kids.
When I'm going to be 20, I'm going to be Jen Nichols and Tom Watson.
Did you catch that? The young Tiger said when he turned 20, he'd be in the same realm as 2 of the greatest golfers to ever hold a club in their hands. Unbelievable. Now, the one piece I failed to mention so far is that when you carry this level of delusion, you aren't often viewed in a favorable light. Some people make it their mission to belittle or humble those with the biggest visions. Think about this clip.
To me, that comes off as a little cocky or brash. When you come out here, you know what I'm saying, your first pro tournament, you say, you know, I can win.
I want to win. That's just my nature.
You'll learn.
15 years after that TV appearance when Tiger actually did make his first professional, you'll learn, Tiger. Well, after 82 PGA Tour wins, which is tied for most all time, and 15 major championship victories, it's clear who did the learning in hindsight. And it's clear the difference in mindset between a very good professional, like his interviewer, and one who's the greatest. The same mindset has been passed down through generations like the Avatar, and through seasons, years, and decades, a new crop of athletes embody the delusion necessary for greatness. Think about one Anthony Edwards. While many of the greats adopted their delusional self-belief in childhood, For some, they don't truly flaunt their wings until adulthood. For Ant, he would be invited to join the 2024 men's US Olympic basketball team in their quest for one last gold medal for the golden era of many of the sport's all-time greatest. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, to name a few. And when asked what role Anthony would play amongst this group of top 20 players of all time, his response?
And, you know, they got to fit in and play around me. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Now, maybe you expect any NBA player on the men's Olympic team to be confident, maybe even overconfident. Or maybe this was just an interview answer and he speak differently behind closed doors. But check out this clip from a run-in the team had with Barack Obama in Paris before one of their games.
Y'all better stand down. The truth.
The truth.
You heard it from his mouth. Stand down. You gotta respect it. But by the end of the tournament, it didn't seem crazy at all. He finished 4th on the team in points and averaged more in that Olympics than the redeemed team Kobe did in 2012, or 2008 Carmelo Anthony from the Olympics in Beijing. And today, Anthony Edwards is next up and the league is his for the taking. Not so delusional, huh? For those that reach the pinnacle of greatness, this radical confidence that others call delusion doesn't magically go away one day. It's the same reason why after defeating the odds from a 6th round draft selection to 6 Super Bowl titles, Tom Brady would hold off retirement to chase another Super Bowl ring with the Buccaneers. After the last pass of his Patriots career was a pick 6 and a playoff loss, it looked like the curtains were closing on his story. I certainly thought Father Time was knocking at his doorstep, but some sense of delusion told him he had more in the tank, that he could do it again, that for some reason he would be special enough to reach the mountaintop that so many spend their entire lives trying to chase. And he did it. At 43 years old, Tom Brady led the Buccaneers to a world championship and defeated the reigning champion Kansas City Chiefs. Brady became the oldest player to ever win a championship MVP in any American major sport. Legacy cemented, greatness personified, and delusion vindicated. Now, to this point, it might seem like if you believe hard enough, you can achieve anything with delusional self-belief, right? That every athlete with a mental fortitude and will to win is destined to be successful. And while I wish that was true, reality tells us that that's just not how life works. For every Venus and Serena Williams out there are thousands of other little girls chasing the dream for years on end to no avail. And for every Tom Brady defying Father Time with the Buccaneers, there's a Joe Namath on the Rams, or Brett Favre on the Vikings, or Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers. And while we love the highs from Muhammad Ali's legendary career, the Thriller in Manila to the Rumble in the Jungle, we can't forget his last fights being humiliated by Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick way past his prime. I guess we have to live with the fact that sometimes the beautiful delusion that can take a kid off the street to the palace of champions can at the same time keep a champion in the ring or on the field or on the court for far too long. We can't deny that a mental delusion is the key to ultimate greatness and what can separate the majority from the hallowed few. Maybe there's a lesson in that message for us in our daily lives as we think about dreams we put away because they're too big or too unrealistic or seemingly too inaccessible. Maybe a self-belief as heavy as delusion is what we can adopt on the daily to reach greatness in each and every one of our own lives. Either way, as the poet once wrote, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all." And for me, I know I'd rather have been delusional and failed than to have never believed at all.